Hello, and welcome back to Bourbon with Bill. Today's topic is the importance of CPAs. Do you know what a CPA is? A CPA is a certified public accountant. We are the only licensed accountant in the world. We're licensed by the state that we're in, and we're licensed after a rigorous set of education standards and a few other things that I'll go over with you. For example, to even think about becoming a CPA, you must have a bachelor's degree from an accredited university. Be careful with that because a lot of these online universities are not accredited by many states. So you might find yourself doing your accounting classes all over again. So you have to have 150 hours of education. That's more than most bachelor degrees. It's almost to a master's. You're not required to have a master's, but you must have 150 hours. That is 30 hours of accounting, 21 hours of business, and 3 hours of ethics must be part of that 150 hours, no matter what university you go to. The type of university you go, the quality of the university you go, probably doesn't matter as much in accounting as it does in other fields. Most major universities have an accounting department, and accounting is the same, whether it's a big university or a small one. The classes, the rules are all basically the same. So now, once you've got your education, you've got a lot more to do. You must pass a rigorous 4-part exam that is nationwide, given by the AICPA. So every state, no matter where you're at, you have the same exam. You must pass that exam with a minimum score of 75 per part. If you can take it over and over again until you pass it, but you must pass that exam. Once the exam is passed, you have to work 1 year for a licensed CPA in some capacity. That CPA will have to certify that you're working for them and that you've put in the number of hours. Once you've worked for someone, then to get licensed, you file all your paperwork with the state that you're in. You have to pass another ethics exam. You have a background check that you must pass. You cannot be a felon, by the way. If you have any felonies in your history, you might as well forget it. You're not going to be licensed as a CPA, ever. So once you've done all of that, then they will award you your CPA certificate. You're still not completely done. You're now a CPA, and that's fine. But you must maintain that license once a year. You must have 40 hours a year of continuing education credit, and these also must be accredited hours. You can't just take any old class that's out there. You have to take a class that's approved and by an organization that is approved. So that you have to maintain. You have to report those hours every year on your license to the state where you're being licensed. So as you can see, CPAs are highly qualified, rigorous testing, lots of education, lots of continuing education, and therefore we try to, CPAs tend to be the best at their jobs and what they're doing and the most educated. There are no other professions in the accounting arena, bookkeeping, any others, where you have that kind of oversight and certification. So keep that in mind, that the CPA designation, you know what you have. With everything else, you do not. Now the firm, if you own your own firm, there's more oversight. CPA firms must have a peer review every 3 years. That means we pay another CPA firm to come in and look at what we're doing and making sure we're doing it correctly. And that all gets reported to the state as well. So therefore, that's even more oversight to make sure that we are doing things as we should do them. There is one other designation. It's called an EA. The IRS, you can pass a test with the IRS and become an enrolled agent is what it's called. That is not nearly as rigorous as anything else, but you can practice before the IRS only with that designation. CPAs, by the way, are automatically able to practice before the IRS. There's no additional testing necessary. Just keep in mind that you don't always know what you're getting unless you see the CPA designation. There are good CPAs and bad CPAs out there. So unfortunately, we're not all the same. So be careful, but look at what you're asking the CPA to do and make sure that they're qualified, in what you want them to do. Everyone thinks that CPAs are a lot more expensive than other accounting alternatives, and that's not always true. Certainly, we may tend to cost a bit more with all of this education and oversight. We do have to charge a bit more for the services because they are more valuable, but we're not necessarily that much more expensive, so you need to check that out. And remember this, if you think it's expensive to hire a professional, just wait till you hire an amateur. So, with that in mind, you now know what a CPA does and the value of the CPA. So let's talk about the value of the bourbon today. We have one of my all-time favorites. It is the Balcones Brimstone. This version is the 10th anniversary version. It is made in Waco, Texas. It is very, very smoky. It smells a bit like a cross between a saddle and a campfire. You can smell it across the room. It is very aromatic, but it is also very, very good. I highly recommend it. Most of the liquor stores in your area may carry it, so look for it next time. Very, very good. So, please be kind to everyone and have a profitable day, and we'll see you next time.